Welcome back to Nintagious. As promised at the end of the last episode, we're going to jump right back into the daily challenge here on, how do you pronounce this again? Zurich? Zurich? I don't know. Some colors of destinations are always circles. Sucks out loud. Double the number of motorways awarded. That's pretty pog. I think I said that the last time we got that one in particular. But, you know what? It was pog then, and it's pog now. So as I said in the last episode, I actually, for the first time perhaps ever, had so much potential stuff to talk about that I actually made notes for the banter engine in advance, and I didn't get through a lot of those talking points in the last episode because the weekly hit us pretty hard and pretty fast. So I still have some stuff to go through here. I guess I got through a lot of the stuff with just in regards to like, and again, it's silly because by the time this airs, you guys will already be seeing changes to the schedule and stuff, so it's not going to be like a surprise or anything. You know what I mean? But for the recap, I just decided like today that I was going to start airing these episodes twice a week instead of once a week because I have over 24 episodes recorded and or edited and ready to go. So I have to I gotta get them out there. I wonder if just save a little bit of road. I don't know if that's a good idea. It might have been better the other way around, but... And in fact, the more I'm looking at it, the more I hate it. So I guess another thing to go into was... so I mentioned in the last episode that between... a big deciding point for me to start... airing the episodes more frequently. There's two basic points for that. One was that I have such a backlog of stuff ready to upload already, and I don't think I mentioned this in that episode. I'm pretty sure I didn't mention this in that episode. Not only is that like awkward because I'll film an episode like this one where it's May 31st. By the time this airs, it's probably going to be like mid-August. So a lot of the stuff I might talk about is going to be kind of, by the time you see this, it's already going to be a reality. You know what I mean? So that's kind of strange. And I also started having hard drive issues because of keeping all of the chunks of recorded footage. Thankfully, I'm going to take the roundabout just in case, even though I don't foresee myself needing it. Compared to when I first started the channel almost 10 years ago, video files were a lot larger back then. So they don't take up as much space now, but it still adds up. This is... What the... Go fuck yourself. What is this? So I just have to intersect everything, huh? Could you have possibly done this in a way that fucked me over harder than this? This is awful. Okay. And it's right fucking next to a facility, too. You hate to see it. God, that's so horrible. What a garbage spawn point. Oh my god. And this is the daily, so like... I believe it's a set seed. It will always spawn in that location. I couldn't restart this if I wanted to. That is like a punch in the fucking gut. Oh my god. You gotta be kidding me right now. I might just drop out of this. And just go back and try and do one of the others that, like, I still need to get 1,000 points on. This is fucking trash. What is this absolute nonsense? Although, okay, to be fair, if they had spawned this one first instead of these two, I wouldn't have even batted an eye. I would have been like, okay, that's fine. I can connect that without interfering with anything else. Nothing to see here. It's these that were like, especially this one. Was like, are you actually kidding? Oh, man. So anyway. And again, maybe having a to-do list of banter is like a really bad idea, because one, with this game in particular, because one move like that and I'm completely derailed and I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about. I believe it was that there's two factors in why I decided to start airing these episodes. Of course. Of course. And it's almost like it can hear me, you know? Like, it knows. Oh, it knows. Alright, this is an absolutely positively awful idea, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because they're not really giving me a fucking choice, and if that's how we're gonna play, then I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just fuck you then, and if I lose, I lose. This is probably the dumbest daily I've ever seen. So far. Just in regards to spawn points. Like, they don't even have anything to do with, like, the modifiers. it just keeps getting worse. Oh, it just keeps getting worse. I mean, I guess that's fine, but it's also, like, what the fuck is it doing over there? I really think that there's like a difficulty knob, and when that goes high enough, it just goes into complete, like, they're gonna fucking hate this mode. And it's when the game is at my least favorite state. That's when I'm just like, I'm not having fun now. Yeah, I'll take all the road tiles. So 2 reasons why I wanted to start airing these episodes twice a week. One was because I have so many of them. This is also garbage, but I'm going to try to not get too distracted by it. No, because the Reds need this road. But I think I'm also going to put this road in here, because that'll kind of split some traffic up. That's not a terrible idea. Hate that, though. And the other reason was because it's hot as fuck lately. The weather's nasty, and I have a really hard time sleeping when it's really hot. And I haven't slept well in probably like 3 days. So, I haven't had any energy to stream, which has made me say, what the fuck is this run? The fuck is this, Binding of Isaac? This seed was, like, made by someone who just, like, has a fetish for torturing people, doesn't it? Don't they? Like, that's... Like, what the actual fuck is going on? This is unfathomable. I can't believe what I'm watching right now. This is already, like, the worst road system I've ever seen in my life. This is, like, completely 100% horrid. We need to get another bridge. Because I think we can... fix some of this. And, oh, baby, does it need it. I almost feel like this episode is going to be unwatchable, because I'm, like, completely on tilt at this point. So the banter's gonna completely stop, because whenever I try to actually start having a conversation with you guys, they just pull another unfathomable move, and I'm just completely blown away by it. I've tried multiple times now to talk about what... And we're only 10 minutes in. This is actual garbage. We might do 2 runs on this episode, because I don't expect this one to last very long. Because this is nightmarish. Okay. God, does that even help us? Fuck me, this is bad. Is this the one that gives us the... No, bridges cost tiles. Okay. I'm thinking. Give me a moment here. I'm trying to cleanse... Because here's the issue that I'm realizing I have with... Because it's happened twice now with this game. Actually, 3 times, because it kind of happened in the last episode. It also happened in a couple episodes ago when I was talking about the Sonic Advance trilogy, about the potential of doing the unfinished business in like a video series, and they keep dropping houses and interrupting me, and I get to a point where I'm like, I have to finish what I was talking about. Stop interrupting me. But at this point, I'm like, does it really fucking matter? I should just focus in on the game. So I'm trying to like pull myself away from it. It doesn't matter that it's hot as fuck and you haven't been sleeping well. Focus on the gameplay. But I'm also trying to get myself away from the tilt that I'm on of what the fuck is this run, and stop interrupting me. Let me finish my story. I think we're gonna connect that there. And then I think we're gonna connect these blues separately. That at least fixes some issues. The red and the yellows are still in a tremendously horrible state. This is still awful, but at least we got the blues disconnected. I'm done. I'm done. I probably should have seen that coming. That's a classic, oh, you fixed the problem, it would be a shame if we immediately fucked it up kind of thing to do. Sort of kind of quick fixed it, but it's still terrible. That's actually fine. That's probably the first spawn that they've given us that isn't just complete and total ass. Aside from the fact that it's right across the street from a fucking neighborhood, which is awful. But aside from that, it's like, that's fine. We actually want a traffic light. We want to keep our eyes on this road. I think that... What the actual shit? You can't make this up. I'm getting out of here. This is stupid. I'm not. We'll just go do another run. That is cursed. That is 100% cursed. Dubai, how you doing? Let's go for a 1,000. just. Are you serious? I mean, that's slightly better. At least they're not pointed in opposite directions just to fuck with me. Wow. This reminds me of, like, 2 nights ago, when I did, like, that like, 6-episode recording session in one sitting. There was an episode in there that was, like, a total what the fuck is this game? Where I was actually at a point where I was like, I'm not having fun anymore. I hate this. That daily was unfathomable. I think I could have gotten through it if it, like, that was about 15 minutes of every time I solved a problem, it immediately shit another one, just, like, right in the middle of my driveway. It was like, here, you fixed the problem and you're still trying to recover from the fact that you had to use all your road tiles to do it. Here's another problem. Like, if I could have gotten through it and been at a point where I was like, wow, we just had a span of like 5 minutes where there weren't any problems, like, things are just going smoothly, then it probably would have been fine. But the fact that it was completely unrelenting the way it was is like, nah, I think I'm done. Sometimes video games don't show restraint. And I think it's our responsibility to show restraint instead and say, no, enough is enough. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think if the game pushes too far, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, no, this is going too far. Now, this is an interesting side of that because it's random, right? So it's not like the game was deliberately designed in that way. So I'm not that upset about it, because it's just kind of like, what can you do at the end of the day? But I also saw enough to make me say, this is not worth my time. It is not worth your time as a viewer. That run was cursed and did not deserve the 15 minutes of time I gave it. Is that making sense? So now that I can breathe for 2 seconds, it's been hot as shit here and I haven't been sleeping well. So I skipped like 3 streams this week. 2 streams? I don't know. More than I should have, because I guess I'm counting tomorrow's, because I'm expecting that I'm probably not going to stream tomorrow either, because I'm just exhausted and I have no energy. So what have I been doing with that time? Well, a lot of it has been recording. I did cook dinner yesterday, so that, no, you don't know, that took like an hour. I've mentioned before that we do have an extra bridge. Hold on. I mentioned on stream, I don't know if I've talked about it in recorded episodes. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I haven't. Back at the beginning of the year, I decided to try HelloFresh, so I've been getting back into cooking. A couple of years ago, I'll often talk about on stream about a couple of years ago when I lived in bad internet hell, and it was just the place I happened to move to, just there was one internet provider that would come out to us, and they were like criminally bad. And so I started looking. That's why there was like a 2-year gap of no content on the channel. It was basically because of that. Even uploading stuff probably would have taken like days to upload like one episode. It was really bad, really bad internet. So I just waved the white flag and was like, I'm just gonna find other things to do. And one of those things, why did it delete the bridge? Was I got into cooking a little bit, and I enjoyed it. But then inevitably, once I moved again and got better internet back, I just stopped cooking because I was like, I have other things to do. I have video games to play. I have YouTube stuff to do. Or sometimes just streams to watch. And I was just kind of like, I fell out of it. And I don't know what it was that clicked with me with HelloFresh. I think it's just that I saw a promotion on YouTube, which I guess I should point out that this is not sponsored. I'd probably go for it if they wanted to do something like that. They're not going to with a streamer of my size, but I'm just saying hypothetically that I probably would. We will go ahead and take another bridge, by the way, because I've been pleased with their service. I think I saw a promotion on YouTube and I was like, you know what, I should try that, acknowledging the fact that my diet isn't great. This is another one where they're just fucking with me, and I don't appreciate it. Yeah, it's fine. Where was I going with that? Just backstories for why I felt the need to note that, oh, I cooked dinner. Because I still, like, 4 nights out of the week just kind of, like, throw something frozen in the oven, which is not great, but I have such a long to-do list of just things that I want to do that I find it difficult to be like, I'm just gonna take an hour to an hour and a half to cook dinner. But I've been having a good time with that, and I've also been watching a lot of cooking videos on YouTube, which has also been both enlightening and entertaining. Which brings me to my next bit that I'm gonna, like, briefly shout out. I recently found and recently, I mean, like, yesterday, I found this. I think it was even, like, this morning. No, I think it was yesterday. I found a channel, I believe it's called Epic Curious. Like, you know, Epic Curious. And they have a lot of cooking stuff, and they have a series called Pro Chef versus Home Cook, which I adore. I've been really enjoying it. The concept is that they take a pro chef and a home cook, and they say, like, you're going to prepare the same meal. Not to specifically, but they'll say, like, both of you have to make a pizza. And they'll bring their ingredients and say, okay, this is the pizza I'm gonna make. And then they take the recipe and the ingredients and they have them swap. And it's super interesting because you get to see a home cook, and if you're thinking, well, what the fuck is a home cook? I think a home, like, I would probably classify as a home cook. I think it means, like, you kind of know what you're doing. You're not an amateur. Like, you can follow instructions, but you lack experience in regards to, like, what sort of things you've worked with and stuff like that. I guess is how I would classify it. You get them having to again work with stuff that they've never worked with before, or techniques that they've never worked with before, and you get to see them, like, you know, try new things and learn some things while they're at it, which is really cool. And then you also get to see the pro chef take very, very simplistic ingredients and add a ridiculous amount of flourish and make something that looks like a gourmet meal, which is also super entertaining. So I've been, like, binge watching that over the last couple nights. And by that I mean, like, last 2 nights, because I only just found it yesterday. But if you like watching cooking stuff, I would recommend it. I think it's a very creative idea. I immediately started thinking, could I do this with, like, art or something, but I don't think I could as easily do that for a multitude of reasons. In theory, you could pretty easily do it with art, right? I guess the way it would work with artists would be style swaps. Unless you were very specifically working in physical media, which I don't. I am, like, completely 100% digital. So it doesn't really work. You could change software, but that's going to be more crippling than anything, I think. So I guess what you would need to do is be like, I'm going to draw something in this other artist's style. Which would be interesting, because you'd have to, in a rush, try to, like, analyze their style and figure out how you're going to do it. Try and look at multiple pieces and pick up, like, let's just look at, like, eyes and be like, okay, how do they draw eyes? How do they draw male eyes? How do they draw female eyes? Because they might draw them differently. How do they draw eyelashes? How do they draw pupil highlights? All these, like, little details, you'd have to, like, pick up on that and then be able to recreate it on the fly, which I think would just be a really interesting idea. We're going to take another bridge. I like that whole concept of, like, swapping like that. I think that's a really interesting idea. Again, I think depending on what you're doing it with, you'd have to do it differently. Like, music is another one that you'd probably have to be, like... I guess the musical challenge from a chiptune perspective would be, like, if you typically use, like, Super Nintendo sound fonts, well, here's the Genesis sound fonts. You're gonna have to use these this time. Which, again, I think that would be pretty interesting. So, yeah, that's been, that's captivated me over the last 2 nights. I've been playing a lot of, like, random shit on my phone, too. I wouldn't say it's anything worth mentioning, though, if I'm being honest. Because, as with most things, by this time next week, certainly by the time these episodes air, I probably will not be playing any of the games that I would think to mention right now, so I don't think it's really necessary to even be like, I found this game called this thing, and I've been playing it, and it is fun. Because it probably isn't going to last very long. How the hell am I supposed to get you over there? This is probably the first fuck you that this particular run has thrown at us. I guess I'm just going to do it like this. I don't love it. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not catastrophic, but I don't like it. I'm kind of hoping that we'll see another pink facility show up over here, and that I could just cut that. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. It's so good. It's so good. It's pointing in the wrong direction, so fuck you, but you know what? I'll take it. It's better than... They could have spawned it over here. Which would have been significantly worse. I'll take my small victory. Now we might have a slightest of issues. If we get enough motorways, maybe I'll use that to fix this. And that's that this facility is the round one, so this one's busier. And all of the houses are spawning over here. So that's not great. Do I have a bridge? I do have a bridge. Do I want to fix this, though? So I'm currently looking at if they put more pink houses here, I'm gonna scream. So I was thinking that... You know what? I'm just gonna let it fly, and if it happens, it happens, and we'll address it. There's room in there that we can fix it. It'll be fine. This is less fine because we don't have enough roads for this. So we're gonna cut some of these off to try and get some roads back. Beautiful. build roads. That's fine. Perfectly okay with that. So something else I'm trying to do is I'm still gearing up for that episode of Crit Rate in which we're going to tackle the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I think I mentioned a couple episodes ago, but I'm going to say it again. Should I take the bridge? Or do I just want the road tiles? This is tough. I have an extra bridge, but I feel like an extra bridge ain't gonna be bad. The chance of me saying, man, I really shouldn't have taken that extra bridge is like kind of slim, I think. Again, I wish I could look at the map and remind myself of where the rivers are. You can kind of see it blurred out, but not enough for me to be like, maybe I'm gonna take the bridge to be safe. Yeah, because inevitably they're gonna start spawning shit up here. So I think that was the correct play. Anyway, Crit Rate episode, Marvel Cinematic Universe. I did record it at one point. And I decided to re-record it, and there was two reasons for this. One was because I used, on the little icons on the tier list, I used the movie posters, and when they were scaled down that far, you couldn't see what the fuck they were. At all. It was not terribly productive. There were a couple of movies that I was like, I've only seen this one like twice, and I haven't seen it in a while, so I don't know. I guess I'll give it like a B. And then I went back and rewatched some of them already. I rewatched The Incredible Hulk and Spider-Man Homecoming were the two that I rewatched. And I was already like, oh, these are better than I remember them being. So right away I was like, I should probably record that. And there's a couple of others that I want to rewatch too. So I did do some of that tonight. I rewatched Black Widow. That movie's complicated, I think. I really want to like it, but it's like... And we're probably going to talk a lot about this in the episode of Crit Rate whenever I do record it. I gotta do it soon because Miss Marvel starts airing next week. And if I don't do it before that, then I'm going to have to wait for that to be over before I do it. Or I guess I could just leave it out, but that seems kind of silly. Do one of these. I feel like I think maybe different viewers hit this at different points. I do think there are a number of Marvel projects that feel a little bit formulaic, and I think people phrase it as this just feels like a Marvel movie. And I think that's a very inelegant way of putting it. Because it doesn't, you're not really saying anything. That's like saying that a Disney movie feels like a Disney movie. Like, okay, and? You're not explaining much at all there. And I think part of that is, and I don't mean this to be like criticism, I'm just being honest. I think most people aren't. I think most people don't know how to explain things on a critical level like that. I don't think they know how to explain like why they think a movie is bad or why they even think it's good. I don't think most people know how to do that. And again, that's not like bad. I don't think you necessarily should strive to be good at it unless that's a conversation you want to have with people. Like if you want to talk to people a lot about why you like something and why you don't like something, then you should probably strive to be able to converse about it better. But do I still need that other path now, or should I just disconnect that? I'm just gonna disconnect that. That's a great idea, but I think we're gonna go for it. But I've heard people point that out about like, oh, this just feels like a Marvel movie, and I didn't. For a while, I didn't entirely... I kind of knew what they meant, but I didn't see how it was, like, a bad thing. Does that make sense? And then once I started thinking about the movies more critically, to prepare for this episode of Crit Rate, I kind of started to see what they were talking about. And I think Widow might have actually been the first of the movies that I really felt this on, and I couldn't really put it into words at the time. But it's very... I've also seen people refer to it as like the Josh Whedon comic book movie is like another way I've seen people refer to it as. Which again, what the fuck does that mean? But I think I think I've kind of been slowly figuring out what they mean by that. See, I'm glad I have the bridges. Although we don't have a lot of roads at the moment. What can I do about this? Hold on. Hold that thought. And disconnect these. And do that. I think what people mean when they say it's like a Josh Whedon comic book movie. Also, could we like... Of all of the houses I expected to show up here, green was not it. I would have blocked that off if I knew that that was a risk. I did not think green was going to be what was going to show up. Like, by any stretch of the imagination. And it seems that, once again, we're hitting the point of, fuck my life. Oh my god, stop. We're hitting the point where the game mechanics are constantly interrupting the shit I'm trying to talk about. For better or worse. I guess if you didn't particularly want to hear about Marvel stuff, then that's a win for you. Am I even gonna bother? I don't think I'm gonna connect that greenhouse. I think he's just gonna have... You're just gonna have to live with that. You chose wrong, so you're just gonna have to live with that, I think. Okay. I think when people say Josh Whedon comic book movie, I think what they mean is that the movie has like a... They kind of have a predictable flow. It's very dramatic backstory, action, quip, action, quip, drama, quip, 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 action, action with some quips thrown in, a little bit more action, some dramatic action, but immediately followed by a quip. It kind of has the same tone, right? And I think Black Widow has this problem. I think it's a fine movie. I don't think it's bad. Like, it functions. But it also has that issue where it's very, like... You feel like you've seen the movie before. Because it's just kind of... This is what people mean when they say it just feels like a Marvel movie. Like, I get it. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, because they're still overall pretty well made. I guess I could understand why people want to see stuff be a little bit more, like, imaginative and less formulaic, which is why people are freaking out about, like, say, WandaVision, Moon Knight, Multiverse of Madness, because these all feel very different compared to the other Marvel stuff. I feel like I probably shouldn't go into it more than that, because I'm wasting my energy that I probably should be saving for when I make the Crit Rate episode. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure I had that exact conversation the first time I recorded the episode, so now I'm going to feel like I'm having it for a third time when I record it again. Alright, that's another greenhouse that's like, who the fuck are you? I guess we could connect it down here. Or bridge it over here. I don't know if I really like any of those plans. Do I need to put these traffic lights down? I don't think it really looks like it. I think we're okay-ish. What is this green motherfucker up to? If these green guys are filtering out here to come over here or over here, which, okay, I see what happened. When this dropped in, it connected directly to that road, and there was just nothing I could do about it. So, we're just going to want to give them a little connection there, just so they don't have to go all the way around. If they're going to be connected into everything, why fight it? There's nothing I can do about it. We're just going to kind of let it happen. And hope that the traffic doesn't get too bad. I think right away I kind of want to put a traffic light right here. But I'm worried with how I constructed that a traffic light isn't really gonna help. Again, this green guy, I think we can either merge it over this way, or we could drag it down here and merge it. I don't really love either of those ideas, if I'm being honest. Let's just let it continue to play out for a little bit. What is this yellow house doing down here? Hello? It's like they don't have any value for roads. They're just kind of like, you have road tiles, right? And you're like, yeah, I have 3. And they're like, good, you have road tiles. Like, it doesn't matter how many road tiles that you have. It's just, you have road tiles. Oh, you're making me wish I would have taken that second motorway. Like, you have no idea. We need another motorway. Like, immediately. For now? That crept up on me. We're gonna drop that in just so they can actually reach the facility, but they have to go such a roundabout way that we do not want to keep that permanently. Like, at all. But yeah, this traffic's getting really bad down here, so we're gonna drop one of those there, and then we'll keep an eye on it. Let's see what happens. Why are you putting cream houses over there? Why are you putting a greenhouse there? Ah, it's fine. We can connect that one. We just need road tiles for that. That's workable. Why would you... Oh my god, dude. There's a lot I want to do right now. I just don't have the tiles to do it. There's a lot that needs to be addressed right now. You don't understand. It's getting ugly very, very quickly. I'm just trying to hold out until the end of the week. Another cycle of the clock. We need, if we don't get a motorway, we might be screwed here. We might be screwed. Yeah, we might be 100% screwed. There's a lot of problems here, and there's a lot of problems and not a lot of solutions. All right. One thing's for sure, I still wish you could like highlight roads. This road here is a problem. That's our first step. We have to alleviate some traffic from that road. I think what we're gonna do We're going to start by splitting up this cream neighborhood. I don't think we want to split it up that much. Eventually, maybe, but not right now. We're going to dedicate some directly to this, and then we're going to connect some of these yellow houses to here. Oh, we could connect them up here, too. There's an idea. Let's do that. We're going to connect some yellow houses here. We're also going to connect some yellow houses up here to pull them in for this. This isolates this... it doesn't completely isolate it yet. Hold on. What if we disconnect that so that those greens are only going to those 3 green structures? So this whole section down here is now isolated from everything else. That's some yellows off of the road, that's some greens off of the road, and that's some creams off of the road. Now, we've got to address this. Let's take some of these out. Let's just connect this one up here, which we do not have the roads to do. We're gonna have to connect it like that, just to make it work. And then we're gonna connect that. Which now means we can connect these creams over here once we have some more roads. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. These are all maybe some changes that I should have made a long time ago, but what do you want from me? I didn't have the road tiles to make it happen. Like, it just wasn't a reality. We have to wait for some of these roads to, like, get returned to us before we can do anything with them. Unfortunately, we might lose to this facility. I don't think the cream guys are going to get there nearly fast enough to fix this problem. Yeah, that traffic jam is way too severe. We're done for. That was, like, slightly better than the last time I did it, but not by a whole lot. It was by about, like, 200 points. It was still not a good run. That one's pretty rough. I have to do a better job of, like, not only noticing when those roads are going to eventually be a problem, but figuring out how to address them even late game if it, like, accidentally happens. Because sometimes one change will just turn a road into a main road when you didn't mean it to, and it just causes a lot of issues. Like, I think a good example on that particular map was when all of those greenhouses got integrated, and I didn't notice because it was just that a 2-entrance facility got placed next to them, and it was allowing them to, like, bleed into everything else. Sometimes stuff like that happens, and I have to be better at, like, noticing stuff like that and then figuring out how to fix it. A lot of the times I look at it and I'm just like, I don't know what I can do here. Or I guess in that particular case, I didn't have any roads to fix it with, was kind of the problem. I don't know if it was... there was that one turn where I could have picked a motorway, and I maybe should have. Because then the motorway probably would have come in handy to, in particular, get the creams from down south up to that new facility that spawned. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, I guess, is what it comes down to. Anyway, I think we kind of managed to make something out of this episode, despite that absolutely hellish daily. It wasn't a great run, but it's something, I guess. I'm probably not going to try to record anymore tonight, if I'm being honest. just because those two kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. So I don't know if I really want to do more. Probably just gonna chill and binge watch some stuff. But there will be more mini motorways in the future. I would still like to hit 1,000 with all of these, and that might not necessarily happen quickly, just because of the fact that I'm also trying to tackle weeklies and dailies as they come. So I feel like if you guys are enjoying this, then the playthrough is gonna have a long and healthy lifespan. So if you are enjoying yourself, don't forget to hit that like button. It does help me. It does help to let me know that I should continue making these. But perhaps more importantly, thank you for watching. As I said, we'll be back with more mini motorways soon. I think I'm maybe getting to a point where I want to pick up Mini Metro, which is I don't know if it was this developer's first game, but it was the precursor to this game, at least. And I'd like to try that out too. I will probably do the similar to this. I'll probably do an episode of the first 30 with it, and then if I like it even half as much as this, I might also make a little playthrough out of that. I still feel like I have unfinished business here, though. I don't know if I'm necessarily ready to jump on to the next thing, so we'll see. All that aside, as I said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Until then, take it easy.